Well, with another week down in the books, started transitioning more into some more rich, darker, spicier fragrances. So we're definitely in full effect with my autumn choices, with a couple freshies sprinkled in. And it's week number 95 in the weekly rotation, so stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday is not even a perfume. Literally, Juliet Has a Gun. It's not a perfume. One note, more of a layering kind of fragrance I could see is what most people would use this for. It's Cetilox and only Cetilox. It smells lovely though. Which is basically a synthetic ambergris in the ambroxan type family. And it does have a little bit of a floral tone, clean musky smell. It's light. It tends to last pretty well on my skin. I did wear it on Sunday. I did not refresh, and it went for about 7 hours on my skin. Because I've seen mixed reviews where some people says it lasts an hour on them, but I mean, that's with every fragrance. I see that on every fragrance I ever look up. Somebody's got to say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Everybody's experience is going to be different. For me, this was, now don't get me wrong, it was pretty much a skin scent to about that point. It does not project, but it can add a little bit of longevity and life and freshness to another fragrance if you're into layering. Not something I'm into. I wore it as a standalone just to enjoy it for what it is, and it's actually quite lovely. This is now my 4th fragrance from Juliet Has a Gun, and I enjoy all 4 of those fragrances that I do have. And this is quite a lovely scent. I picked it up for 60 bucks for a 50 ml. I found it at TJ Maxx, and I'm very happy with my purchase because that's a great price for it. During the day on Sunday, Juliet Has a Gun, not a perfume. And we got the shower, one of my recent pickups in one of my rack store hunts. Penguin Premium Blend. Minty, fresh, aquatic, citrus. Just flat, that cap really holds tight. Just an enjoyable scent, it really is. Minty green and watery aquatic. I mean, it's an easygoing fragrance. 15 bucks will get you this 100 ml bottle. It's one of the better cheapies that you'll see floating around at these rack stores for sub $20 range. Most of these Penguin fragrances are winners for your money. They're always around $13 to $15 for 100 mls, whether it's the signature line like this or the original line, which is the taller, not really taller, but thinner, more squared off bottles that have the extremely weak magnetic caps, ice blue, rocks, reserve blend, stuff like that. Whereas here you can get original blend, premium blend, iconic blend, signature blend, which seems to be the elusive fragrance of the collection. I never see it, and I had several people ask me about it. Never tried it. It's the only one I'm missing. I have 3 of the 4, and if I ever run across it, I'll definitely pick it up, because like I said, if you're on a very, very, very strict budget, you just want to smell nice, 15 bucks. Kind of hard to beat out the shower. Penguin Premium Blend. Moving into Monday is an interesting one. One that when I posted my Scent of the Day post, apparently a lot of people have not even heard of this fragrance because it did get a little bit of love on YouTube when it first came out last year in 2020, but you don't really see it at a lot of the discounters. I bought this bottle from FragranceBuy.ca. I'm talking about Salvatore Ferragamo Oud. So what's different about this one, I don't even recall oud being in the note breakdown, to be honest with you. And it's a very spicy, slightly synthetic designer fragrance. Does have some pretty good staying power, but not a really loud fragrance. It does have a little bit of a synthetic oud type of smell. I could be mistaken on it not being in the note breakdown. I just don't recall seeing it in the notes. It's been months and months since the last time I looked. But what it most resembles to me, so I can give you a kind of a comparison, is kind of a cross between Bulgari Man in Black and Bulgari Man Black Orient. Like, it has a lot of the more spicier side of Black Orient without Black Orient's performance. It doesn't have the booziness and the florals of Man in Black, but it's kind of somewhere in the middle, because Black Orient's rough, rugged, and a little bit edgy. This has some of that. This is a little bit smoother than that. That's why I say it falls somewhere in between Man in Black and Man Black Orient. I would call this the happy medium, where you get some of that additional spice, oody, synthetic oud type of smell with a little bit of that smoothness, even though there's no booziness and florals like Man in Black has. I don't know what they're going for right now at FragranceBuy.ca. I want to say they had them last time I looked, which was a couple of weeks ago. And it's a solid fragrance. If you like the spicier, warm woods type of fragrances, this is actually a pretty decent one. If you can get it in the $40 range, I would say it's worth the money. I don't know if I would want to pay 60 bucks for it. I want to say I paid 40 some odd, $50 for it. And if it's still going for that price, I think it's a solid buy. It could be a good addition to your collection, especially if you live in a cooler climate where, like for example with me, I have a cold front coming this week where the highs are going to be in the low 50s and we're looking at the low 30s every night for like 4 days straight. So I have some really good cool fall weather coming where fragrances like this will shine. Give it a try if you can get your hands on it. Salvatore Ferragamo Oud. Very, very solid fragrance. And then I stuck with the dark fragrances. That night I was just in the, I don't know why, I almost dropped it. I've been transitioning to wanting less fresh fragrances out the shower. I know that's out the norm for me, but I went with Aramis Tobacco Reserve. I literally saw a post before I started recording this from my buddy at Equality Fragrances. He's wearing this at the recording of this. This is his scent of the night. Great minds think alike, my man. Herbal, very herbal tobacco, green leaf tobacco type of smell. Has this nice sweetness, but it doesn't overtake the fragrance. It's a drier, more herbaceous, mildly spicy tobacco scent. Discontinued, hard to find, unfortunate. Glad I have a backup bottle. I have this 3.7 and I have a backup 60 ml, so I've got a lifetime worth of sprays based on my collection size. It's powerful, it's masculine, it's deep, and it's a little different. It doesn't smell like all the other tobacco fragrances. You will get hints of similarities because there is some vanilla in here with the tobacco to tobacco vanille. It seems like every time there's tobacco and vanilla in a fragrance, everybody immediately thinks Tom Ford tobacco vanille. And yes, there is a little similarity because those two notes are very prominent, but it definitely walks its own path for a more dry, herbaceous type of tobacco fragrance. If you can get your hands on this one for a decent price, man, this stuff is really, really good. Hard to find for a great price since it's been discontinued for a while, but out the shower, I went with Aramis Tobacco Reserve. Moving into Tuesday, it was a pleasure to pull this one out. Very gentlemanly for the cooler months. It's smooth, it's boozy, it's woody, it's warm. It is Pacha de Cartier Parfum. I love this stuff. I've been wanting to get the original Eau de Toilette for a long time now. I know it's a classic fougere. I know Justin raves about it. It's one of his favorites. But every time I'm in the mood for Pacha de Cartier, I mean, this is just such a good fragrance. I can't help but want to wear this. Think same vein of Bentley for Men. Now, not the same scent profile, but same vibe. Boozy, spicy, woody. This doesn't have all the leather and it's not as spicy. It's more herbaceously spicy. It's got a lot more greenery going for it. Whereas Bentley for Men, it's more about the warm spice. And then if you go with Bentley for Men Intense, that's much more smoky and rough and rugged. I would compare this more to the original Bentley for Men. So if you like fragrances of that style, these warm, boozy, woody fragrances, you're gonna like this. It's more polished and smooth than the Bentley fragrances I mentioned. It's got a much more dressy appeal, whereas those fragrances do have that jeans and a sports jacket type of appeal, whereas I think this one goes full on suit and tie much better than those. It has a little bit more of an elegance because of the smoothness of the fragrance. Definitely enjoying my first wearing of the season of Pacha de Cartier Parfum. And then I got the shower. One that impressed me, recent rack store hunt, Cheapy Jim, Guess Man Forever. It's your typical sweet fragrance that doesn't really perform because it's a cheapie, you know, but it does kind of, in the dry down, it has a little bit of the Argos kind of similarity going for me, but much more like a bubblegum sweetness, kind of like a cross between Invictus and Argos is kind of what I get from it. Unfortunately, I didn't notice it after 2 hours, so it is on the weaker side for me. And traditionally, when somebody else will get 2 hours, I normally get more than that. So if I'm getting 2 hours out of this, some of you are probably going to get the the proverbial 20 minutes of performance out of it. So yeah, 2, maybe 3 hours if I spray my clothes. Nothing special, but I do love the scent. That's the best part for me. I will wear it because I think it smells great. Probably going to be geared for out the shower when I want something on the sweeter side. And I mean, like I said, I really love how it smells. That's why I wanted to spray it some more. If you see it out there, it is cheap. It is worth the money. You may get more longevity out of it than me, but if you're like me and scent is #1, this is a great fragrance for the $20 and below price point because it smells so damn good out the shower. Guess man forever. So moving into Wednesday, this is new to the collection. I feel like a dummy for waiting so long and procrastinating and putting off getting this fragrance because I didn't realize I would like it as much as I do. My recent fragrance haul from Macy's and Kingdom Fragrances, which I have an iCard for that video if you haven't checked it out yet. The fragrance that I liked the absolute most in the video, with all those Nichane fragrances and Amouage and everything, was a Zaharoff Pour Homme Intense. This surprised me. I did not expect it to have the original's DNA and have so much of it. When I saw the note breakdown of cinnamon and brandy and vetiver, I thought this is just going to be another warm, spicy, sweet fragrance that might have a little touch of the original's DNA. No, this is just a better version of the original. Oh man, and look, some people hate the original. I get it, it's dated, old man, yada yada, blah blah blah. I actually really enjoy it. Even though I hardly ever wear it, I respect that fragrance because it's a spicy aromatic. That's my favorite type of barbershop fragrances, is the spicier aromatics. And this maintains that, smooths it over, and warms it up. This is a much better version. I will always advise moving forward to get this over the original. This is the best flanker in my opinion. I know they have Amber Fever and Ginger Lover and Wild Mint and Naughty Leather. They're all great fragrances, great flankers in their own right. A special collection based off of this Zaharoff Pour Homme, but my opinion, this is the best flanker. It pays homage, or pays homage, tomato, however you like to say it, to the original. It doesn't veer off the path too much. It just makes the original better. It is more intense. It is much more smooth and well-rounded. I'm loving this stuff. This is a great fragrance for a great price. During the day, I went with a Zaharoff Pour Homme Intense Eau de Parfum. Then we got the shower. This one might surprise you. 2012 formulation of Dior Homme Sport. I actually wore it 2 nights in a row. I wore it on Wednesday and on Thursday night as well. I was just digging it. Been a while since I wore it. I actually didn't wear it all summer. I didn't really pull out Dior Homme Eau much like I normally do. I didn't pull out any of the Dior Homme Sports. I think I pulled out the newest formula once this summer. And shame on me, because I love the line. I love all 3 formulations of Dior Homme Sport. And it's, I don't know, I was looking through my collection. I saw the box. I said, why not? And I ended up wearing it 2 nights in a row. It's that citron, citrus heavy, fresh iris. A little woody, very appealing. You know, average type of longevity. Very present for about an hour and a half on my skin. It really wafts pretty heavy. It's kind of all in my face for about an hour and a half, which I really enjoy. Love the way this smells. You can still find them from time to time for a decent price on eBay. This is a tester. It came in a white tester box. You can see the notes on the back, and even Sport has rubbed off a little bit, so it was rubbed around in the box a little bit. I bought it brand new. It had not been sprayed unless they turned it upside down and emptied the atomizer. That's a little trick that some of these places will do, so make sure your stuff's sealed. With testers though, it's hard to tell because they're normally not sealed, but it's original juice. It smells great. It performs pretty well for the scent profile, right in that average 5-hour range for me, and it just smells great. 2 nights in a row. I was really loving it. Some citrusy iris. Dior Homme Sport 2012 formula. So moving into Thursday, I actually wore this during the day on Friday as well, but what I did out the shower is going to make for a separate day. So this is officially sold out. It took less than a week to sell out. Congratulations, Mega Dave and Dua Fragrances, for a fantastic creation with Oh So Fresh. I wore this Thursday. I wore this Friday. It is awesome. This is one of, if not the freshest fragrance I have ever put on my skin. Whew, man, and yes, it's a pressurized atomizer too. Original creation. I actually did one of my podcast discussion episodes with Mega Dave discussing the fragrance when it launched. It comes in a full box presentation. It's a 110 ml bottle that's filled to 105, sold as 100 ml, and everybody bought them up. And I don't blame you. It's a great fragrance. I've been getting 8 hours of life out of my skin, and it's not even macerated. This is a fresh pour. So as it, you know, with a lot of these, you know, houses like Dua, Alexandria, Central Obsessions, places like that, making sense. You got to let them mature at least for a few weeks, and it'll get a little bit richer, and your longevity and your performance overall will be a bit more robust. It'll really pop and push a bit more, and this is just going to get better and better. If I'm already getting 8 hours out of this, this is going to be a 10+ hour fragrance, and projection is not moderate. It's not modest. It's not subtle. It puts out. The wife loves this. The wife wore this on Friday as well. She loved the way it smelled. This was her scent of the day on Friday also. But Thursday I was the Lone Ranger wearing this one, and I gotta say it's great. If you were able to get your hands on a bottle, congratulations, because I think this stuff is awesome. And then, like I said before, out the shower, I had went with Homme Sport. So moving into Friday, like I said before, I had wore this 2 days in a row. I was just digging it that much. You guys know me. You see, those of you that watch these weekly rotations on a regular basis, you know it's rare that I wear something 2 days in a row. I'm really feeling it if I wear it 2 days in a row. It's a rare occurrence because I like to mix things up. I like variety when it comes to my fragrance wardrobe. Hence one of the reasons I have so many damn fragrances. But this stuff just, I mean, it's so damn good. The quality, the performance, and the originality, and the mega freshness. It's hard not to like a really fresh fragrance, and this is a damn fresh fragrance. So during the day on Friday, I had went with Oh So Fresh once again. So we were going to dinner, and I needed a shave, so I decided to grab my Sterling Soap Company Sandpiper Shave Set, which includes this aftershave splash. This is their version of La Nuit de l'Homme, and I deemed it a perfect excuse to wear La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique to dinner. It was my first full wearing. I'd done a few test sprays, but I gotta tell you, it's just a richer, more aromatic version. Not quite as powdery on my skin as the original La Nuit de l'Homme. Doesn't last a whole lot longer for me because I still get like 7 hours from my watered down, as they like to call it, bottle. I have the lighter colored juice. It's a 2018, sometime in 2018 bottle of La Nuit de l'Homme, and I still get decent performance out of it. This went for about 8 hours, but it did project a bit more. It was wearing a bit heavier, so I gotta say, it's a stronger fragrance, but I mean, I'm not getting much more performance. I know some of you get much less than I get from La Nuit de l'Homme, but it just works well on my skin. I've always gotten pretty good performance out of one of the newer batches. And with this, man, it's just better. It smells so good. Like I said, it's a little bit more soapy and aromatic. The lavender is a bit more present, I find, out in the air and especially on my skin. If you haven't tried this one yet and you like La Nuit de l'Homme, it's a damn good flanker. It's basically like a recreation of the original. It performs just a little bit better, and it definitely projects better. Evening, dinner, after a good shave, Sandpiper, and Bleu Electrique. Finally, on Saturday, since it's starting to cool down so much more, even though today at the recording of this it was in the 80s, but it's, you know, Sunday at the recording of this, so it was, I sat around and watched football most of the day, and I felt it was right to pull this out one more time before I pack it away for the fall. Summer Vibes 2.0 from Authenticity Perfumes. Still my favorite, guys. Soapy and a citrus medley. Lime, tangerine. Really pop for me. I love this stuff. I've put a little bit of a dent in it because I've worn it my fair share of times. This is a 60 ml bottle. It performs really well on my skin. It's my favorite from the house. There's still some bottles left last time I checked the website. While the newest version 3.0 smells like a bowl of mixed fruits, mangoes and stuff like that, sweet fruits, it's a lovely scent in its own right. This is still my favorite. And if you can get your hands on just one from the house, my vote is to sample this one or get a bottle of this one during the day. Summer Vibes 2.0. And then when I got out the shower, when I say more performance than even remotely close to what I normally like out the shower, I went with Nishane Ani. So it's sitting on my little rotation table. I don't know. Just, it spoke to me. It said, wear me. Whew. so I obliged. This is my favorite pickup of the year, I think. It's one of, but I'm starting to think it's my favorite pickup. My favorite vanilla fragrance. It's got this boozy bright benzoin kind of smell. You guys have heard me talk about it before. Vanilla. Lovely, gorgeous, delectable vanilla from start to finish. Whew, man, the scent bubble I had going. And it just didn't seem to want to quit, because it performed very well on my skin. It's almost room filling in the first hour, but even after that, it's all in my face for hours. Very consistent, very delectable, like I said before. My favorite vanilla fragrance, and like I said, the benzoin, it's got that boozy type of quality to it. I love, love the way this smells. Get yourself a sample and try it. My favorite vanilla fragrance ever out the shower, Nishane Ani. Well, that's week number 95. Until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What did you wear this week? Some of you that watch this on a regular basis, you know the routine. Let me know down in the comments what your fragrant week looked like. Did we match on anything? There's a possibility. There's definitely a good possibility, because Ani, very popular. We may have matched on that. And I know Pasha de Cartier Parfum, pretty popular. People are starting to pull that fragrance out as well. So until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances that I featured in this past week's rotation, you give them a spray now. Might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.